Hello everyone, my name is Ippei Tsuruga, International Labour Organization. In this program, I would like to explain my experts' point of views about social security in Indonesia. The end of last month, we had a very sad news, and that shouldn't happen in the future. Mr. Alphonse died because of the terrible accident or incidents. Immediately after his death, BPJS Employment CEO visited his parents' house and gave a 70 million rupiah check to his parents. And there are many criticisms and questions. Why did BPJS pay 70 million rupiah to his parents? What is the reason behind? And that is not even enough for compensating the loss of his life. So here, I would like to explain my understanding about the reason behind BPJS paid 70 million rupiah. I didn't talk to BPJS colleagues, so my understanding is based on the regulation and the news that you can also access too. So he was a Gojek driver, so he was bukan penerima upah or self-employed status. According to the BPJ government regulation number 44, 2015, the self-employed can register BPJS employment schemes JKK and JKM by selecting their reported income between 1 million rupiah and 20.7 million rupiah. So it seems like most of ojol drivers tend to choose the lowest income because their contribution amount will be also very low if they choose the lowest reported earnings, that is 1 million rupiah, and then monthly contribution amount is 10,000 rupiah. So according to the news, it seems like Mr. Alphonse contributed this amount for 2 months before he experienced his death. So the formula is also determined by the government regulation number 44, 2015. So here's the formula. There are 3 benefits package, 3 allowance package according to this regulation. First, lump sum payment is made based on this formula. So his earnings, reported earnings was 1 million rupiah. So 1 million rupiah multiplied by 60% multiplied by 80 month equivalent. So the philosophy here is that at least the survivors, or in this case his parents, can receive the 60% of breadwinners' monthly earnings up to 6 years and 8 month equivalent. So that is 48 million rupiah in this case. Second and the third benefits is actually the fixed amount, fixed allowance. It's called a periodic compensation. That is the second benefit package. 500,000 rupiah multiplied by 2 years. So that is 12 million rupiah. And the third one is for funeral grants. So the philosophy here is that it will cost money to organize a funeral. So BPJS JKK scheme provides 10 million rupiah for that. So in practice, in the current regime, BPJS make a payment in one time, lump sum, even though the benefit package is called lump sum periodic compensation and funeral, they make a payment altogether in one time. So in total, 48 plus 12 plus 10 million rupiah equal 70 million rupiah. BPJS paid immediately to his parents in the following day and a month. That is my understanding. However, here's a question. They lost not only the son's life, but also the breadwinners. If their families were relying on his monthly earnings to make a living, this amount may not be enough because The philosophy behind is to support the survivors, the remaining family members, for 2 years with the second allowance, and the 6 years and 8 months by the first allowance package. From the international social security standards point of view, this kind of benefit should be provided in a periodic payment until their parents die in the future, so that the family members will be supported until they die. Or in the case of children, I don't know if he had children, his children would have support until they get married or they die. So here's the international labor standards requirements or recommendation. 70 million rupiah, in my view, is not enough. You may think 70 million rupiah is big enough, but if we think about the remaining lifespan for his parents, it may not be enough to cover the whole expenses that they will have to pay for the next 20 years, next 30 years. If his parents were 40 years old, 50 years old, their parents may still live up to 80 years old, 70 years old. So they may have to find new jobs or new income sources for the next 20 to 30 years. So this amount won't be enough in my view. And from international social security standards perspectives, it requires at least the monthly income multiplied by 40% should be paid until their parents die. So 400,000 rupiah will be paid every month until they die in this case. If his parents live up to, let's say, 70 years old in this case, I don't know how old they are, but if they live for 20 years, they will eventually get 96 million rupiah instead of 70 million rupiah here. And 30 years, if they live for 30 years, they would receive 144 million rupiah. So, and then this amount will be adjusted by BPJS based on inflation and wage growth. But in the case of current mechanism here in Indonesia, orphans, father and mothers, receive 70 million rupiah, and they would have to invest and probably start business using this amount of money to plan and make money for their future livings. According to international social security standards point of view, that is the role of the states. The states will have to take care of their parents. That is the philosophy behind of this calculation. The amount of payment today may be small, but the payment will continue until they die. That will be the state responsibility. So here, there are two questions. Is the amount enough under the current system? If not, what would be the future reforms that Indonesia would like to have after learning this very sad incidents? I just wanted to share from my point of view and international social security standards point of view. Thank you very much for listening. I hope this video clarifies some of your questions. We will talk more about the reforms of the policy design in the future. Thank you very much.